TR Network. We are back. We back for our first Super Tuesday Supergirl review of the new fall season. It's the first episode. The title is The Adventures of Supergirl, so they're just going old school comic book on us. I'm Shanna, and I am here with the Doctor.
Hello.
And yeah, we're excited and ready to talk about Supergirl. So first of all, just what were your impressions coming off of the move to the CW and just like your overall impressions of the first episode?
Oh, I loved it. It was so much fun. Some of the one-liners were getting to be a bit too much, and you know me, I have small quibbles because I'm a critical girl, but I had fun. It was so nice. Just the first couple of minutes, just the special effects and the fight choreography. I'm like, oh, we're home. We're finally home.
I'm gonna admit, like, it felt really joyful and it felt really bright. And that's not to say that it wasn't bright before. It's always been a bright show.
hmm
But it just felt very like hopeful, optimistic. I liked the chemistry everyone seemed to have with each other. They seemed happy,
Yes.
which makes a lot of sense. So this episode starts. They give us an exact time. It starts 12 hours after the
The
or
season
the
finale,
season
yeah.
finale. Yeah, so well, like essentially, it starts right where it ends, where we find sexy Chris Wood in that pod. He didn't
You
even
didn't
wake
get to
up
see
this.
his arms
I know,
though.
I know, no arms, and he didn't get to wake up this episode. So still things to come. But so it was Chris Wood in the pod. That question answered very quickly, also discarded very quickly.
Well, I
Um,
think it was shelved for now.
Yeah, I think it was
Mostly
really
discarded.
like, oh yeah, we ended on this cliffhanger, so we're gonna give you the answer to the cliffhanger. But this isn't really what the episode is about, because what the episode is really about is Superman. Superman coming to National City, and
I would disagree with that.
I think I think that was really what this was this was the introduction of Superman to this world.
Really?
Yeah,
I felt more like this was the introduction of Kara starting to grow up.
I
And
think that was the theme.
her relationship with her cousin factors into that. Her relationship with Jimmy, the GEO, with Kat, all of that factors into that. And you can't keep doing these, troll moments. We're on the CW, so we don't have to do the troll moments anymore. So yeah.
I think the theme of the episode is Kara taking the next step in her life. But I think the function of the episode was to introduce Superman into the world and to give set up where his place in this show will be for however long he's here.
And just as a heads up, I know for sure we have him in these first two, and it looks like he's rumored for a couple more, including the penultimate.
Mm-hmm.
But as we mentioned last season, we knew that he wasn't going to be a permanent fixture because then it's not really Supergirl's show anymore.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that. Um, the guy who was the villain in this episode, he actually reminded me a lot of. This is a random tangent, but it'll make sense in a second. He reminded me of Justin Hartley, who is currently
Yes.
on This Is Us, but he used to play Oliver Queen on Smallville,
Yes.
and I was thinking, I was like, he reminded me of him, and then for the rest of the episode, I just kept thinking they need to get Justin Hartley as a guest star. They need to get Justin Hartley as a guest star. I was like, I know he has another show, but they need to figure out how to get him as a guest star.
Hey, it can be done. I've seen it done
Yeah,
before.
because I like when they do nods to Smallville, and I don't know,
All of the
like.
different Superman properties, like the different shows, yeah.
Yeah, and I really enjoy Justin Hartley as an actor, and now that he's older, and I love what he's doing on This Is Us.
Yes.
So I don't know why, but like once I saw that guy, like for the whole rest of the episode, that's all I could think was they need to get him on. So let's start with, I guess the best place to probably start. I don't know. Should we just go chronologically? It wasn't really broken down by character this episode.
Sure. Well, yeah, we can do that. So are we doing a full like step by step what happened or just what worked for us?
I guess we can go with what worked.
Okay. Um, all right. You go first.
So
Because
thank you.
the notes I have in my Word document are like word for my write up, but I'm gonna pull up what actually worked on. So
Okay.
I'm basically what's happening right now, ladies and gentlemen out there. I'm stalling. Go ahead.
So the story is that there is Clark comes to National City because I can't remember the name of the company because I don't know details like that. But there's a company and they have built a space flight thing, like to take regular people into space, basically. That thing that lands.
Yes, the commercial launch of the venture.
Thank you. All right, it's that thing that Lance from NSYNC did. He went to space. So regular people.
Commercial space travel.
Commercial space travel. And in mid-flight, it explodes.
The
And
oscillator explodes.
the
Yeah.
oscillator explodes. And Kara and Clark both end up saving it together. So it's their first superhero team up. And they end up finding out that Lena Luthor was actually the target because she was supposed to be on the space shuttle. And once they figure that out, then it's about trying to save Lena Luthor from people who are trying to have her assassinated. Um, and it turns out that it's actually her brother because apparently, even though we haven't met him, Lex Luthor is still a dick.
Well, and it's interesting because it seems like the version of, even though they said they're not going with any given canon, it really feels like they're pulling from Donner's canon because they were talking about the fact that he had just gotten put in jail and we got the appearance of, I'm assuming this is Miss Tessmacher's niece. She's too young to be our Miss Tessmacher from the story. But just the way they talk about him, I get the sense that this is Luthor from Donner's first two Superman universe. It's just the way they have it set up. So yeah, that's good. And he hired an assassin who was using all kinds of different technology. First the oscillator, and then later we see a drone attack.
Yeah.
That the L family has to team up once again to take care of.
What I really enjoyed was the introduction of Lena Luthor, and that they set her up initially as a villain, but then it turns out that she is actually on their side, kind of. Mm-hmm. But also really interesting that it ends with her just point blank shooting the killer.
Yes.
And that's the Luthor. And I really enjoyed that. I like that they're making a character, because so far a lot of the villains on Supergirl have been very, aside from her aunt, have been very kind of one note evil. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate that they're going with something a little bit more ambiguous. Like, obviously with the Luthor last name, there's always the potential for some evil in there. But I like that they were setting her up early on as someone who can possibly be an ally.
Definitely. And I'm glad to see Katie McGrath on screen. I have missed her since Merlin.
I enjoy her on Merlin. The last thing I saw her in was that Jurassic Park movie where
they made her get eaten by that big old fish like the sword. That was so rude.
Her death was so wrong, like on so many levels.
Yes, it was.
So, justice for Katie McGrath. Also, there's another show that she was in. It is a British show And I only know this one because I happened to be in London at the time that it debuted. But it's this British show. It's a show about different couple. Like each episode focuses on different couples going on dates,
Hmm.
and some are like first dates. And she on this show she dated Gemma Chan, who's on Humans.
Humans,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's called Dates. That's the name of the show. So, like, each episode focused on like a different first date.
Yeah.
And Gemma Chan's character was like this like Asian girl who was like afraid to come out to her parents, and then you see her go on this date with like Katie McGrath's character. So, in case you're looking for a British show, I have no idea where you can find it in America. I actually watched it while I was in Britain.
Good to
Um,
know.
but it's good. Gemma Chan and Katie McGrath making out. That's kind of really all you need to know.
So
And
I was going to say some of the other elements that came in, because that was the linear story, but there was so much going on. We get the history between what we find out why Clark won't work with Hank and the DO and what that tension is about.
so that was actually one of my favorite parts of the whole episode, just because of the way they set it up. They
Mm.
set it up so good. Like, where, like, Clark walks in and Hank is just side eye for days. He was just like,
Yes, I'm like, who
it
did
was
this to your
like,
girl? What happened?
it's like, yeah, it's like when you bring a friend home and like your like sibling or cousin who you didn't knows them is just like, why is he here? Like that, it was just like, why is he in? Like, I kind of did the like, Diane from Blackish, like clutch my pearls, like, oh, what's going on
Yeah,
here?
he was. And I'm like, damn. And I get the sense that we're going to get more because I feel like they just skimmed the surface, even with what they explained.
Hmm.
Because it explains why Clark won't work with John. It doesn't explain why John is pissed at Clark.
I feel like something happened, or
Yeah.
I feel like something either happened on the mission that they worked on together, or that he's somehow resentful of Clark's decision. I don't know. I just
Right. But
really love that interaction. So
okay, but
cute.
here's the thing. It would make sense if Hank Henshaw was pissed like that. It doesn't make sense that John Jones is pissed like that. Something else happened.
Yeah. And it
I
could
feel
go
like
back.
something else
Yeah.
happened.
It could be like an alien thing that we don't know about.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. I love that Wynn is working for the DEO, and I put this in my review, my written review. It makes sense that, we're not going to talk about what was wrong in the past, but with Wynn's skills, him working at the DEO makes sense. It was kind of convoluted how they got him there,
Hmm.
but it makes sense, and I'm glad to see it because he's just in his element now, and it's so adorable.
I love that he already taught himself Kryptonian.
Yes.
He's like, oh, just picked up another language, an alien language, but whatever. I also really enjoyed. I and I don't know if I'm wrong. I know that there's been some questions about how involved Callista would be this year. That ending where like Kara kind of makes a decision and then Kat is like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna make some decisions too." Did you feel like they're setting it up for her to make her way out if she
Yeah.
needs to?
I feel like they were setting it up to move her to recurring status.
Yeah.
That's really how it came across.
This is a shame because
And like this episode, they had her where I needed her to be all of last season, which is measured, balanced. She's still on her shit. She still take no prisoners, but she's just not nasty to be nasty. She's not a cartoon or a caricature of a character.
well, I like that she was ahead of the game. She knew what decision Kara needed to make, and she pushed her to make that decision in her usual typical Cat kind of standoffish way. But she
Mhm.
pushed her to make the decision she knew she needed to make, and I really enjoyed that about the character. She's always good for a pep talk speech. Not in the way that like Barry needs a pep talk from Iris to get things done, but in a
Hmm.
way that works to like inspire Kara.
Yeah.
So yeah, I saw that and was like, oh, the other thing I really enjoyed is that the fact that she has a crush on Clark.
Oh, she was thirsty. She was so thirsty.
She was like my favorite is when Kara's just like standing there. She's like, you didn't tell me you know Clark. You didn't tell me you know Clark Kent. She's like getting her stuff together. She's fixing her outfit, and then she walks up and she was like, oh, you and Lois still together? I would have thought she'd be with Superman.
He's like, we work it out. She's like, oh.
How
She's
modern.
like, how can we work it out some more?
She's like, how modern.
He's like, whoa, 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 not like that.
Can I also say,
I don't judge, baby. I don't judge.
the thing that I loved the most, I know everybody has their opinion on his height, on how he look. I think Tyler Hoechlin is a great Superman.
He
And
did
I'm going
a
to tell you why.
fantastic job. Oh my God. I will admit I was worried. I was worried, number one, because I was used to, Derek with the facial hair. I'm like, he ain't got no facial hair. I don't know about this. He delivered. It was so much fun, but it wasn't cheesy. I felt like it was a good blend of, golden age Superman with a modern twist. It was fun. I liked it.
He is so perfect because, first of all, I think it's Tyler playing against his own type. Because usually Tyler is the hunky, scary,
Dark
brooding guy. So it was amazing.
Or he's a little kid walking around with his dad who's an assassin. Sorry. We'll never forget Road to Perdition. That is how I will always remember him as little Michael Sullivan Jr. Sorry.
Yeah, he's always kind of been like that broody, like hunky guy. And this time he was just a little goofball. He smiled so much. It was so cute. And then when him and Jimmy, I know everybody's like, how is Jimmy Olsen going to be like so much bigger than Clark Kent? Jimmy Olsen should be bigger than Clark Kent. Clark Kent is like super powered, but that doesn't mean he has to be like hulking. His powers are his powers no matter what size he is. Mm-hmm. And I think he's way more convincing as a mild-mannered reporter.
When he doesn't look like a Greek god?
Yes. But still looks good. Like,
no, he looks great.
I thought it was he smiled so much. And I was just like, oh, he's smiling. Like, every single time.
And when he's trying to be all serious, Superman, and Kara's like, yeah, I used to change his diaper. He's like, oh, yeah, they didn't need to hear that.
Didn't have to tell him that. You volunteered that information. Like, he's so good.
And it was funny we did get a piece of feedback we'll get to in a little bit, but I agree because I was thinking the same thing. I think that the only pair up more adorable than Tyler and Melissa was Melissa and Grant. They were just so adorable.
Cute. Like, I just want to pinch all of their cheeks. When he said the whole thing about wanting to stick around because it was really nice to have somebody like him around for once, I got emotional.
My heart melted because it was like, how you got to think about it. He was here because she was in stasis by himself all those years, and he was like, and I want to stick around because I have all this stuff in the archives, but I want to hear from someone else, who really knew my parents
and not hearing
what they were like.
Hearing about it from you, I was just like, that is because, I mean, I have my parents, so I don't know why I'm acting like I was like orphaned, and the only way I know about my parents is through other people. But I can only imagine, like, this is the only connection that you have to your home planet, like real connection. Everything is archives and videos and whatever other crazy Kryptonian way they have of telling you things. And this is an actual person, and she was old enough. Like, we always talk about how like it's harder for her because she was old enough to have the memories of Krypton. But then also in this way, she can reconnect with those memories and he can finally learn about what his planet was like. I
From
just
someone
think it's
who
so
loves
sweet.
him and who loved his parents. I think
Yes.
that's the critical piece too.
For like versus like the other Kryptonians who are like I feel like always show up on our planet just to be like, actually, your mama wasn't shit, your daddy wasn't shit. Like doesn't it always feel like that's how it works? Is that you think everything was great, but actually
And you ain't
everyone was
shit
shit.
either.
All these aliens show up with a vendetta. And you're like, I wasn't even a part of this.
Yeah.
So I really, really like Superman. I I just thought the whole thing was like
It
wanted to
was
pinch
fun.
everyone's cheeks, and I just felt so happy for them. They all looked so excited when they said the superhero team up thing. You know how that just makes me happy whenever they're like, it's a superhero team up.
I know. It was just fun though. And when I say fun, it was like last season, but it wasn't fun last season.
Mm-hmm.
And, I know the Arrow, I just finished season 4 Arrow, Lord help me. And
We're not having this discussion.
no. I have my issues with Arrow are my issues. It's fine. And the Flash has gotten a little darker. Tonight's episode was kind of heavy, but it rebounded. So last season was bright, but it wasn't fun. And what I mean by that is this episode, the tone was fun, but also the actors seemed to be having fun.
They did. That's what I really like when Alex met Clark.
Hmm?
And they also clearly have a history together because, like, even though Clark isn't around much, he does know their family. So
Right.
it was really nice when she saw him and she said his government. I like how Kara was like strategically not saying his name. And then Alex is like, hey, Clark. I was like, did you not notice Kara not trying to say his government name? Okay. I was like, Alex, get it together, pay attention, read the room. But the way she like hugged him and then even like when he walked away, she's like, your cousin's hot. Like, I just really loved it. It made me so happy. Like, I just grinned. I was like, they're enjoying meeting each other. They're enjoying they have a new base. I
Oh, and Kara was pissed. She was like, "You had me in a cave, and you had this." And it felt, you know what? Honestly, it felt like though. It felt like a diss to CBS. Like, yeah, CBS, you had us in this cave, and now we done moved up to the east side to the deluxe apartment in the
was
sky.
totally a diss. It was totally a dig at CBS, and then it was also like, let's explain this really crazy thing that we're gonna do, but we're gonna explain it away in like 3 sentences. So it was just like, what? You got a new office? Oh yeah, this has always been here. We just didn't tell you about it. We just didn't take you here. She's like, what? And then everybody just moved on. I love how Alex was like, oh yeah, it's like a block from my house. This is this. It's like when you find out like all your friends have been going to a really cool club and they're like, oh yeah, we come here all the time. And the bartender is like, hey, what's up? And you're like, but y'all never told me. But y'all never brought me here. Okay, I see how it is. Like, that's what it felt like.
Oh, that was the other thing I was going to mention up. Alex was I loved how they handled Alex. Mm-hmm. And I hope they did this. Okay, so for the first time in a really long time, I liked Alex's episode for several reasons. They kind of picked at how she was treating Hank in previous seasons, where she started talking at him and he just walked off and left her there talking to herself.
She was like, oh, okay, I guess.
We're not talking about self. We're not having this conversation. It was perfect because I'm like, that's what should have been happening last season when he sat there and let her school him like he was a child. But then, Alex has always been the scrapper. The fight choreography and the stunt choreography was so much tighter and seamless. Her fight scene, I was in my house screaming like, get him, Alex, kick his ass, yes! It was so good.
I thought they did a great job just making everything seem new. while still
Mm-hmm.
completely, the thing that made me really happy is that you can very obviously tell that this is a reboot. They're reintroducing you to this world, hopefully introducing the new people who didn't watch last season to this world, while at the same time they didn't drop one single thread from last year.
Not at all.
Not at all. Like you have Win mention his father. You have like the fact that it started almost immediately from where it picked off. They didn't try to do like a time jump or anything like that. They did not drop one thing from last season, and I really really appreciated that, because most shows I think would be tempted to be like, we're doing everything new, we're starting all over, we're scrapping everything, and they did not do that. So now I will talk about the thing I did not like.
Hold on, there
Okay.
was one other thing I did like, and like you said, picking up those threads, we get a glimpse of Cadmus at the end.
Yes. Yes.
The like pre-post credit scene, the
I
post title scene.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Cadmus thing and the Metallo, which they
Metallo, yeah.
Metallo, which they just straight out called. I didn't think they were gonna do that.
You
Like,
me up, and Sarah, shout out to Sarah from, our group. She was like, where they do that at? Where it's like, okay, you have a choice of me let you die or we experiment on you. Blink once for yes. It was like, where the hell did they, what kind
I'd
of
have been
choice
like
is
rapid
that?
fire blinking. I'm good. Let me go.
Like, what
I
the
don't know
hell
what you
kind of
about to
choice is
do.
this? How did I get in this basement? Oh my God.
But then I really, so then I'm wondering, does that mean we're gonna see a changed Dean Cain? Are they?
That is
Is
a good question.
he
Is he the
a
experimenter or is he experimented
experimented
on?
on? Exactly. And also, I really love that actress that they brought in to
Mm.
play. I don't know if they said her name, but that actress, she used to be on Desperate Housewives, and before and after, most recently she was on The 100.
Okay.
She was the Ice Queen on The 100,
Yeah,
and
I don't
she's
watch the Hunt
been
Down for that.
she was a villain that they kind of teased a lot and brought up, and then they finally introduced her last season, and she's just, for somebody who generally you would think of as like a housewife type, really good at playing intimidating villain. So I'm
I
excited.
I don't. They didn't name her.
They didn't. Okay.
They did not name her. And when I checked the credits, she doesn't have a name either. They just have her in the credits, but they didn't give her a name. So I think
I
that's something we're meant to find out later on.
okay. I had a thought last night about who I thought would be a really, or maybe it was about the crossover.
Mm.
It was about the crossover. I think it would be really interesting to set up the crossover as, because they've confirmed that they are still in two different universes.
Yes.
But what
Well,
might
different
be
Earths. Aren't they in different Earths
different
still?
Earths? Yeah, two different Earth One, Earth Three, or what? I don't know what number Barry gave it when he came. But what I thought would be really interesting is that I'm reading the Arrow Oliver Queen's dossier
Hmm.
book, which hasn't come out yet. I actually got a review copy of it. But what I thought was really interesting is there's a couple times in the book that they mention one or two villains that we saw on Flash and Arrow who are metahumans but weren't in Central City the night of the particle accelerator.
Hmm.
So I was thinking it might be really interesting if those people were somehow affected or infected by alien tech, and that's
Hmm.
the connection, because so far they haven't introduced aliens into Flash and Arrow, but they're all over Supergirl. So it would be interesting if that's kind of the difference between the two universes, is that one has contact with aliens and the other one doesn't.
Hmm. That is.
um
Oh.
but we'll see. I don't like to be throwing my ideas out there for the CW to just listen and hear. I know y'all listening.
Better run her money,
I'm just
man. Come up
saying,
off her money.
just a smooth 10% across the board. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but again, so now to the thing that I didn't like, and I'm gonna be extremely honest. The episode was an A for me. I was watching at home. I was like, yes, they did it. This is great. I'm enjoying it. I've laughed out loud at least 3 times. I was so excited. And then that ending with Kara and Jimmy brought the whole thing down to a B minus. I almost consider it a C.
Oh, okay. So I wound up averaging us out to an A minus because I thought it was an A two, and then you gave me that B minus. I'm like, it's got to be an A minus. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not my. Just so the listeners can hear, that's not my fault. It's
I
her this time.
It
Usually it's
was
me.
about
This
to
time
go down
it's
to a C.
her.
I almost considered being real petty and giving it a D, but I was like, I'm
No,
trying to
you're
get
not. You gonna
people.
stop right there, ma'am.
I was like, I'm trying to get people to get back into the show, so I'm not going to go that petty. Here's my problem with how they set this up. All last season, Kara is in love with Jimmy. She's trying to get with him. Well, not openly trying to get with him. She's trying to figure out the timing and when she's going to profess how she feels. Jimmy, you know, not really oblivious, but acting like he's oblivious because he's unsure about, making that move, whatever. We finally get the kisses at the end of last season. I'm like, cool, moving forward, know where we are. We saw the little preview before the season started where I was like, oh, he's clearly in her house. Why is Jimmy in her house? They must be going on a date, or they must have just come back from a date.
Netflix and chill or coffee. Take your pick.
I'm just saying, I'm excited. Either way, had me hyped for the first episode. She decides that she's ready to make all these decisions and she's ready to move on and make these leaps with her life, and that means not dating James, not trying to figure out how her and James can work. Like, my thing is when she was like, I'm trying to figure out how to be Supergirl, but it's like part of what you talked about with Clark is how to balance being Kara and being Supergirl. And doesn't that mean having a love life? Like, how to balance that?
Okay, so here's the thing. That's not quite what she said, I don't think. I think if I had to go back and watch it again, what I heard her say is she's got the Supergirl thing on lock, but it was at the expense of who Kara is. And we already established that Kara is emotionally stunted, or Kara is a bit of a mess. She's so, even just watching her trying to figure out what she wanted to do with her life, it's the reason it took the whole hour. Because, like Kat was like, if you don't stop doing all these little surveys and strength quest finder tests and go figure out what the hell you supposed to be doing like a grown up. So I was giggling because I knew you were going to be upset. And I feel like this was a good decision, not because I'm about the whole will they, won't they. But Kara is still emotionally stunted. She is not ready for a mature relationship. And quite frankly, I don't want her bringing her mess into Jimmy's life. I was giggling because I was going to say she Sparta kicked his ass into the friend zone.
I appreciated that Jimmy kept it so real. Jimmy was like, I'm good. We don't have to talk right now. Because if I was Jimmy, I would have been like, all right, smooth. I'm gonna need you to not call, text, right for about a week and a half minimum, because we've been working towards this for a minute, and here you come with some old bull.
But I'm okay with it, and for a couple of reasons. Like I said, she's an emotional mess. And the Myriad kiss, I'm gonna call that was a fluke. He was under the influence. But that last kiss, I'm sorry, Shanna. I've seen 90-year-olds with more hotness in their kisses than that kiss. That kiss was not the business. I need her, and I feel like part of it is because she's emotionally stunted. He's ready. She's not. So I'm okay with that mature decision.
No,
And
I
it's
was
not that
not
they
here
can't
for it.
revisit it.
I was not here for it. I reject this idea, and I feel like this is an idea that magazines try to sell you, and that self-help books try to sell you, and this whole idea that like you have to have your stuff together before you can enter into a relationship with somebody else. First of all, no one has their stuff 100% together.
Valid.
Second of all, a lot of being in a relationship is like learning and growing and figuring out how you guys work as a unit, not just like, oh, if we both come in, because you can have two people who have their lives 100% together, and then they come together, and because they don't know how to be together as a unit, it's a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt and Jimmy are a good team. They work well together. He, out of all the people, understands like what she is going through and what she has been through. I'm really frustrated with this. And
It's okay, boo. It's okay.
I get, I was going to say that I get that it's hard to write relationships, but I honestly don't think it's hard to write relationships. I just think people are bad at writing relationships. Like, people think like conflict means everything has to be in conflict all the time. I think it's lovely when you have somebody who like has to do so much and has so much conflict in all the other places in their lives, and then just comes back to a safe space that, you know, includes a relationship. I think that's beautiful. And I just get really frustrated at these CW shows in terms of the relationships. I know not everybody is here for the ships and the shipping. I enjoy it. I enjoy it when it's written well. I enjoy it when the people are supportive of each other. I just want that. I just want that. I just want some happiness. I just want one place in their lives where they're happy. I just do. I'm sorry.
I but that's why I was okay with it. I get the feeling. I felt like it was conflicting for her, but that she didn't walk away, wasn't gonna walk away moping, pull out a gun and start shooting people in the face. I see you, Oliver Queen.
But I thought that anyway. But I thought that Jimmy might, because I was devastated for him.
No, he's not. He's
I
the
was
mature one
like,
in this situation.
I feel like he's mature, but that doesn't mean he's not. I felt he would have been perfectly justified to be like, I at home girl, so I'm gonna. We don't have to talk anymore. That's how I felt after the way she rejected him. I was like, we don't have to talk. We don't have to be friends. Oh, made me so
So,
angry.
so I'm gonna switch gears into a few other lows. I want you to breathe, get some tea. So it's gonna be okay. It's not over. It's never over with these things. It's never over with these things. We
It's
can come back to
so
it.
cute. He's so cute. I want happy things.
Yes, I do too. So a few other quibbles we talked about it. Them calling folks like, well, it was killing me because folks were calling them their government names in public. Like I think at one point, someone from the DEO called Superman Clark, like on the street. I'm like, what are you doing? Will you please stop doing that? It's so stupid. Um, this was just a small pet peeve. I love Katie McGrath. I feel like they could have written her in as an adopted Luthor and let her keep her Irish accent because you could hear her struggling to hold on to that American accent. And that Irish brogue was slipping through just about every fourth or fifth line. And it didn't mess up her performance, but I could tell.
Well, I think the reason they couldn't is because, yeah, they did write her in as adopted, but definitely as having been adopted early in life, so it wouldn't have made sense for her to be the only one with an
But
accent.
technically, if they had adopted her and then sent her to boarding school, you could. I'm not a writer, I know, but they're rich. Rich people send their kids to boarding schools overseas all the time. um, and some of the one-liners got to be a bit too much. Like the first time Kat called Miss Testmarker the way Lex called Miss Testmarker, it was cute. But then they kept having her do it. I'm like, we don't need to keep repeating this. We got it the first time. Thank you. Thank you. Um, but other than that, that was
I
just
like how
small.
you have some, I like how you have bullet points.
Girl, I'm reading
Here's
right from my
here's
review, so
my
just so
bullet
y'all know,
points of quibbles.
I'm reading right from the review that's on the site. Saving folks the time. But no, other than that, I had fun with this episode. I enjoyed it. It just has so many great moments. Like I said, not only was it a fun episode, the actors seem to be having so much fun. And that is what I've been looking for. And I'm just glad to see it. I really am.
You mentioned how they were close, how they had that same chemistry and that same feeling of when Grant guest starred. That's how
Yes.
I felt. There was just a happiness to everybody that I hadn't felt since that episode. And it was
Yeah.
really, really nice. I think also, well, I know that they film in Vancouver now. Maybe it's also having all of the different shows in one place, because I imagine there's probably just a lot of interaction. I know from what I've seen on like Instagram and stuff, it seems like they're back and forth to each other's sets and all that kind of stuff. So I just feel like everyone feels happier.
Yeah.
You can just tell everyone's happier.
They have fun.
Yeah.
So I did have that one email. Do you want me to read it?
Yes.
I'm not gonna read the whole thing because one of these things might be spoilerish. So,
Okay.
and I didn't. So it's from Hiroja Shive. Hi, Hiroja. She says, "Is Peter?" And I asked this too because it didn't hit me until like today. And I'll ask it. Where's Max Lord and Lucy? I mean, yeah, where's Max Lord and Lucy? So she asked, is Peter Facinelli as Max Lord and Jenna Tatum, Lois' sister, not coming back to the show? And it hit me. I was like, is this Barry again? Is this his fault? I'm in side-eyeing Barry. Right now, I'm not kidding. I've been on Twitter blaming Grant Gustin for Donald Trump at this point. This is all your fault, dude. Stop it. Stop it.
That's so messed up. Don't mess with that baby like that. That's not. That's not his fault.
It might be. I'm thinking it is. But no, I was.
So
I was having so much fun with the episode. I was like, we didn't see Max or Lucy, and remember at the end of the season 1, Lucy was left in charge of the DEO.
So what I'm gonna say is, I'm just doing a cursory scroll through IMDb. It looks like Maxwell Lord is slated to show up. Let me look up Jenna. I thought Jenna had kind of, I don't think I thought she had been moved to like regular, but I did think, yeah, it looks like she's slated to show up as well. And it looks like both of them are slated to show up later in the season, but both in the same episode. So I don't know why that is.
So yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I'm not going to read your second bullet point, Hiroja, because it might be spoilerish, and I don't want to spoil Shanna or anybody else. The third one, are we really done? I'm going to leave Shanna this one. Actually, I'm not, because she might kill you.
What?
Are we really done with the Jimmy and Kara love storyline? Because I am totally fine with that.
You know, I've heard from people, and I feel like a lot of people don't think they have chemistry. I think they do. First of all,
I do too.
I think Macabre Brooks could have chemistry with a orange peel. The man is fine. Like, I'm sorry.
Yes, indeed.
The man is fine. And I think it's like it's a romantic chemistry, but I don't think it's a. I think people like don't think they're sexy. And I don't think they're sexy either. But I also don't think that Supergirl is a sexy show.
Well, let me put it to you like this. Barry and Iris have chemistry, but I don't even see their chemistry as sexy, but I do see it as romantic. Yeah. I felt like Jimmy and Kara had romantic chemistry. I just don't know what happened when they kissed. It was almost like I called it the moonlighting effect. The minute they kissed, I'm like, I don't want this anymore, and I don't know why. And maybe it was how they executed it. Maybe it was just a clunkiness from last season. And maybe that's what this hard reset is about in terms of her saying not now. Is maybe they're going to give us the romantic love story that those two actually deserve that they didn't get season 1.
I hope so. I need them to find their way back. And also, here's the thing. I think I'm also fatigued on the let's introduce new love interests thing.
Yeah.
I think I'm fatigued on that. So what frustrates me about characters breaking up is then characters who they've set up as the couple breaking up is that I'm like, well, then let's just not have them date. Because I don't want you introducing a bunch of love interests that are going to show up for like 3 episodes or 4 episodes or even 8 episodes just for them to like be the reason why so and so realizes that they're in love with so and so. I'm just fatigued on that whole trope. This new guy that Felicity is dating on Arrow, he ain't even cute. And I know
Girl,
I'm gonna
that
have to sit.
haircut. That haircut. Who's
And
gonna
I
give
know
him
I'm gonna
that
have to sit
haircut?
through like 6 or 7 episodes before he turns out to either be the bad guy or he turns out
A
to
red shirt.
just a red shirt or he just leaves town or whatever. So I think I'm just fatigued on that. Introducing new love interests just to keep your main love story from happening too soon. I'm just over it. I just
Yeah.
let them be together, let them be happy.
So to finish up her email, so much flying on this app. Yeah, I do not know who is more adorable, Grant and Melissa or Tyler and Melissa. What do you guys think? I think it's a toss-up. I think they're equally adorable together. I really
I
do.
cannot
That
wait for more
said,
Tyler and Melissa.
right, I mean, because when she said, I used to change his diapers, that was cute. That said, it still can't beat that ice cream moment.
That ice cream moment was cute.
That ice cream moment was everything.
You know what I'm actually really excited for? We only got it briefly this episode, but I'm really excited for more Jimmy and Clark interaction.
Yes,
They were so cute.
they gave each other the little bro dab hug handshake thing. I was like, look at this, it's
No,
so cute.
when she mentioned trying to have a relationship and Clark was like, "Oh, with Jimmy," and she was like, "How do you know about Jimmy?" And he's like, "He's my best friend." Like he was just like, "We talk about
No,
it."
well, no. First, I love how he played. He kind of joked on what was happening in those diner movies. He's like, it's Kryptonian telepathy, and she's like, "Really? You can do that?" He's like, "No, he's my friend." I felt like he wanted to say, "You goofball, he's my best friend." We talk? What are you doing?
That's
Because she's
what
like,
made it
"Really?
so
We can
cute.
be telepathic?" He was like, "No, you dumbass." That was great.
Oh, but it was so cute there because, like, yes, they are best friends, and yet, even though it's his cousin, like, yes, he would talk to Clark about what's going on. I just
Right.
think it's I want more. I want more. I want more Clark and Jimmy. I think it's gonna be so cute to see them walking next to each other. I know. I would like to point out that besides the Cara and Jimmy thing, I was in my house like squealing and like clapping about everything else. Like,
Oh, it was just so much fun. I smiled. I think I smiled that whole hour. I'm smiling now. My face hurts.
I
It was
know.
just fun.
So I just you know, you guys, I know some of you are already happy because you don't see it for that relationship. I know some people are like, how's she gonna bring the whole score down? I'm just letting you know, for the
The
most part, I smiled. I
A
really
minus
did.
is her fault, people. It's usually my fault. I'm vindicated. Blame Shanna.
But
Hashtag blame Shanna.
I'm telling you, the fatigue is real. We sat through Patty No No. We went through Ray and Felicity's whatever that was. I had to endure Ray and Dr.
The
Teeth.
Xenomorph.
Yeah, Dr. Teeth on Legends of Tomorrow. Like, I was trying to think of like we. I was okay with.
Barry and Patty. Did you say
Yeah,
Barry and
I
Patty?
said
No.
Patty No No.
Okay.
Who else? I feel like all of season one and season two of Arrow was just like Oliver had a disposable girl
Well, there
every
was
other
that a brief
episode.
dalliance with Laurel.
We don't talk about that.
But it happened.
So all I'm saying is I'm over it. I just want people to be happy and let them be happy and in love. And then they'll be happy and in love and inspired and they'll just go and, fight crime like they're supposed to do. See, people are saying that they shouldn't have the relationships. I'm saying let them have the relationships, let the relationships be good, and let them go fight crime. That's
Yeah.
that's the way I look at it.
We are on the CW though, so like someone pointed out, the one drawback is that we will always have the teen angst angle because it's the CW. I want to say I don't watch a lot of CW shows aside from these, but I mean, even Supernatural finally never did it really. Except that they do it. They just do it between the brothers.
Yeah.
Come to
they're,
think of it, hell,
they're
even they do it.
they're always they're always breaking up and get back together.
To make up. That's all. Let me stop. You can tell it's close to my bedtime.
Oh my gosh.
When I start singing old songs, it's bedtime.
Oh my gosh. So our overall episode for the episode is A minus. You know how
Yes.
you can get that up, Supergirl? Get Jimmy and
Uh,
Kara back to no. I'm just telling them
don't
how
make me,
to
don't make me
improve.
start dropping. Don't make me start dropping the lowest grade now. Come on now.
I'm just trying to tell them how they can improve for next time. Um, what are you excited for this season?
Oh, just seeing them have fun as a cast and fun with this show. I feel the special effects are already better. Oh, you have no idea how much that makes me feel better about watching. Because last season was so miserable. I was like, God damn it, CBS coming to the damn 21st century. So now that we have some 21st century budget money, we can focus on the story. I'm looking forward to watching Kara grow. I think they're going to let her grow and mature out of that, stunted, frightened teen girl finally, and it's what's needed. But I don't think it's going to be like she's going to become the Oliver Queen of National City. I think she's still going to be lighthearted, but she's going to be a mature, lighthearted young woman instead of an emotionally stunted girl. And I'm looking forward to see that journey from her. I'm looking forward to where Katniss is going. I'm looking forward to seeing Wynn just win out over there at the DEO. I'm looking forward to seeing more of Alex's kick-ass fight scenes and her behaving and being responded to in appropriate ways for the way she's acting. I'm excited. I can't wait to see where we go this season. And like I said, just seeing the cast enjoying themselves. You could tell that they were having fun and enjoying themselves and enjoying their work. And it was just a weight off.
Yeah.
Just a weight off.
I want to know what Hank and Clark's beef is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I want to. They definitely at the end set up that whole Cadmus thing. I'm only interested in the Cadmus thing if they bring Dean Cain back regularly.
I think they're going to have to because we know that he's alive.
Yeah.
So even if he comes back, let's say they decide that he's actually dead real time, I think we'll still see him in flashbacks in terms of how did he come to be dead, or if he's transformed and been experimented on, and the character that is now him is not played by him. We'll see flashbacks of how that came to be. Yeah. I don't think we've seen the last of Dean Cain on this show.
I don't think so either. I'm just saying you'll get me more interested in Cadmus if I know I'm getting me some Dean Cain at the end of Cadmus. And I'm excited. I'm really excited to see them be friends and work together as a team and be happy. I think, you guys, I think TV has broken me recently.
Oh no.
I think it's Westworld. I was like, why do they just want to be mean to each other? I want people to be happy.
I haven't watched it yet. There's a couple of things I haven't watched yet, actually, because I want to be happy.
Yeah, I think I just want people to be happy. So that's why Supergirl made me so happy last night. And the fact that they ended with that one thing really it took it out of me. I was like, you guys, I was so happy. I want more happiness on my television, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, me too.
I
Me
want
too.
things to work out for the best. I know that's optimistic. Maybe it's not TV that's breaking me. Maybe it is this election season. But we won't go into that.
I think that's breaking all of us. Barry, stop fucking with the timeline. It's all your fault, Barry. Although now since we've been doing that Misfits rewatch, every time I watch The Flash, somebody says Barry.
Run, Barry.
I hear it in Nathan's voice.
Save me, Barry.
Save me,
Oh,
Barry. Do you love him?
oh my gosh. Okay, you guys, we're getting silly, which goes to show you that it is late. It is late even for me because I've been up for far too many hours working. We will see you guys next week. Please send in feedback. You can send it to, is it just?
She sent it to my email, which is my government name, so I'm not gonna give that out. But if you wanna, I'm thinking they could probably message. How do you want to do this?
1 second. I'm gonna give you guys the official email right now.
There we go.
I'm gonna pull that up and give you guys the official email. So that way you can send us some emails.
And this shows you how much I know about Twitter. You can use more than 140 characters on Twitter DMs, right?
Yes, you can, but please don't Twitter DM me your feedback because I probably will not be paying attention.
Send it to me.
It is the movie trailer review at gmail.com. You can send feedback there. You can also leave feedback on the Facebook wall once the episode is posted there. That's another great place where we'll definitely all see it. And we'd love to hear from you guys.
And just indicate if you want us to read it on this recording on this show that it's feedback, so that we know.
So that we know.
Otherwise, we'll just think it's a comment. We're like, "Oh, thank you," and move on.
I cannot wait for next week. Next week's episode. I should really be ready for this, guys. I promise I will have it way more together next week. This has been trying.
I'm on it. Give me a second. Give me 2 seconds. The Last Children of Krypton.
The Last Children of Krypton is the next episode. And
I'm guessing we're going to get back around to Podboy.
We're going to get me some Chris Wood.
Whoa. Yeah, he has the most unfortunate last name because that phrasing, that's no good.
I enjoy the phrasing. I feel like our reviews are very different from D Palm's and Chris's.
Hey, that's what happens. Hey, sometimes you need the ladies' perspective. Just saying.
So next week, The Last Children of Krypton, or are they?
Dun, dun, dun.
And we'll be back. I would like, me and the doctor are going to figure something out because I would like these to actually drop on Tuesdays. That would be ideal. So we'll see if we can make that happen. But we're working out our schedules. My personal professional life schedule has changed. So
we're on opposite coast.
We're on opposite coast.
California, I'm in Virginia. So
a little hard, but we're gonna work it out. So that's the end of our first Supergirl Super Tuesday, and I cannot wait for next week. I'm actually excited. Jimmy and Kara aside, I'm very excited. We'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.